Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, as you can see from the title, today we will be going over 3 risks that I do see related to Healthier Choices Management Corp. Now, this is a company in which you all have been going absolutely crazy over. I mean, if we just look into comparisons and views to all of my other videos whenever it comes to HCMC, you guys have been going absolutely nuts. I mean, 6.5 thousand, 9.1 thousand, 5.8 thousand, just today 4.3 thousand in 11 hours. You guys absolutely love this company, and I am trying my best to provide you as much value as you possibly can. The majority of the topics of these videos come from the comment sections, as you guys want to know certain things about the company, certain catalysts, certain risks, certain things going into the future outlooks, and so I try to provide you all and answer as many questions as I possibly can with these videos. Now, I will go ahead and say that when I do talk about this company, all of the information that I'm putting in these videos has already been posted in my Patreon. I keep them as up to date as possible. Every single time I find out any information about companies such as this one or any of your most favorite companies, I always throw it in my Patreon, as well as updating them on trades that I make, give them updates on my trade portfolio, as well as give them early access to the content in which I will be posting on this channel. I provide them with research with certain tiers. It is a whole bunch of stuff that goes into it. So if you are interested in something like that, definitely head down to the link in the description, as that will bring you over to my Patreon. We do have a whole bunch of different tiers. As you can see here, we have gold, platinum, silver, bronze. We've already filled up this first tier, so definitely if you do want to get in while you can, as these spots are slowly starting to go down. Now, before this video does get started, I did want to throw a major shout out to my friends Levi and Brayden. These kids are 10 and 12 years old, already having investments accounts with their parents, already making big gains, already making big moves. So keep doing what you guys are doing. I am so proud of y'all. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for you. And just again, a major shout out to you two. But with that being said, let's go ahead and let's see what is going on with Healthier Choices Management Corp, ticker symbol HCMC. So the first risk that I am noticing whenever it comes to this company is it's more of a bit of speculation, but it is something that I am personally worried about, as I do have money invested into this company. Well, as we do know, we do have earnings coming up very, very soon for the company, and what that means is that we are going to see how they have changed and how their overall financials have changed over the last few months. Now, one thing I did want to point out, as I do believe that this could be a going concern for this company into the future. So in 2019, we did see that the vape store sales sold about 3.2 million and their grocery sales sold about 8.4 million. Now, a quick reminder, their subsidiaries do own 4 very large health markets and over 9 vape stores in the Southeast. So whenever it comes to this, going into 2020, we did see a significant decline in vape store sales from 3.2 million to about 1.8 million. Now, of course, this is pretty expected during a pandemic where there's an airborne virus, as we don't want people being in a vape store, blowing smoke into each other's faces, spreading all of this stuff. No one really wants that, right? So not only that, we also have the people. We did see, an article get released from a major vape producer, saying that one issue they were having as well is that loads of people were like, man, this is a virus that's attacking the respiratory system. I'm worried that my lungs might not be healthy, so I'm going to try to chill out on vaping. I'm going to slow it down, and of course that is going to lead in a decrease in revenue for vape stores. Now, the reason that they didn't suffer too bad financially last year is because we did see an increase in their grocery sales. Now, this increase in grocery sales was not substantial enough to cover all of the losses from vape stores, but it did somewhat hold them down. It anchored down their financials, and they kept them above the water. Now, this is where my issue comes in. If we think back to 2020, right whenever this pandemic started, everyone was freaking out. We were seeing grocery stores getting absolutely bombarded, people fighting over toilet paper, people fighting over dish soap. It was insane, right? So of course, in a situation like that, we are going to see overall grocery stores start to collect loads of revenue, and their overall sales are going to increase dramatically. Now, the issue that I see going forward is I do believe that frenzy is pretty much over. No one's really freaking out too much about the pandemic anymore. In a sense, there's not that initial panic that we saw, and I have a speculation and I have a feeling that we're going to see some of these markets and these health markets and their grocery markets. I have a feeling that we're going to start to see their revenue somewhat decrease. I don't think they're going to perform as well as they did last year, as that craze is not happening like we did see right when the pandemic first started. So going forward, the issue there is that if the case that the vape stores aren't, recovering as well yet, as many places are still closing, we're seeing countries close again due to second and third strains. So what that means is that realistically, we may see their vape stores not do the absolute best, and their grocery stores start to slow down down a little bit as well. And that could be a not so good thing for their revenue overall, as they're not going to have these grocery market sales to, be somewhat of an anchor for their financials. Now, this risk is a little bit more speculative, but it is something that is on my radar, and I'm very interested to see these earnings. Hopefully I'm wrong. I do have money invested in this company, so I'd love to see maybe their vape store sales go up to 2.4 million. I don't think it'll recover 3.2 million, but who knows? Maybe it goes up to 2.2 million, something along those lines. But if not, I think it could start to, be an issue if we see them struggling financially, as their grocery markets may not do as well as they did in 2020. Now, the next risk going forward somewhat stems off of that one, but it is a little bit less specific, and it is their overall financials. One thing that we have to see is that this company has been around for nearly 12 years now. They're not brand new, right? And so the fact that we're starting to see their financials still struggle and they're still trying to get a good footing under them is a little bit worrying. I would say their financials are definitely better than they were in the past. They are definitely growing, but at the end of the day, they are still a little bit uncertain whether, what the future holds for them and if they are going to be capable of continuing their processes. So here we are in the SEC filing, and one thing that we can see here is that they have a going concern based around their overall financials. So it says here that the company incurred a loss from operations of approximately 2.7 million for the 9 months ended on September 30th of 2020. As of September 30th, 2020, cash and cash equivalents totaled approximately 0.6 million. Equivalents to be generated from operations will not be sufficient to cover our projected operating expenses for the foreseeable future. Management believes these conditions raises substantial doubt about the company's ability to generate significant revenue and raise additional funds, either through equity or debt financing, collaborative agreements, or from other sources. There are no assurances that the company will be successful in its efforts to generate significant revenues, maintain a sufficient cash balance, or report profitable operations to continue as a going concern. So as we can see here, not only is it's not even speculation that this company's financials are not the best right now. There's a lot of work to be done, and the industry, the vape stores in which they're targeting right now, and which is one of their most popular subsidiaries at the moment, are not performing that well, as this pandemic is not working out in their favor. So this is a very strong risk if you're investing in this company, especially for a long term. Personally, I think I'm a little bit more short to mid-term on this company. But if you're thinking about investing into them long term, you have to consider what steps are they taking to improve their financials in order to, provide sufficient enough funds to keep their operations going. This is a very, very big concern for this company, and it is not something to be taken lightly. And the very last risk is going to be going over the actual lawsuit itself. Now, we have seen that this lawsuit has pretty much been the driving force in all of this movement recently. People just started to get really excited about this lawsuit, and it has just spiraled out of control. I mean, this stock is absolutely flying. The hype is real, and people are very excited about this lawsuit. So what does that mean? It means that if this lawsuit does not go well, then this will be absolutely destructive to the stock price. This is by far the biggest short, mid, and long-term risk that I see with this company, because so many people are banking on this lawsuit to go well that if it doesn't, that's not going to be good. There's two issues that I have with this lawsuit that I'm somewhat worried about. The first one is going to be the patent itself. Now, as we have seen, the patent that they have is very, very broad. Like the overall process is basically what they're having patented. Just certain things such as the heating blade and the instructions and everything like that. And the issue I see with that is there is so common for this style of vape. There's so common for this style of e-cigarette that I think it could be almost too broad for them to actually sue them and actually win the lawsuit over. Now, realistically, I think it's likely that we could see a settlement. There could be some type of royalty settlement, as Philip Morris may just say, okay, we don't feel like dealing with this. We don't feel like putting up all the capital to go through this lawsuit. We don't feel like paying your court fees if we do lose. So we'll just give you a royalty, or we'll come up with some type of settlement. But the issue is, and a move that they could make is something that we discussed in the last video. A move that they could make, a common strategy by infringers, is to challenge the validity of the patent, forcing the patent into re-examination by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, and that process can take a year or longer. Now, the issue that I have there is if they do pull this card, and if that is the choice they make, well, then I'm not sure if HCMC has the funds to continue on with this lawsuit, get their patent revalidated, and also continue their operations, as we have seen in the last two risks that their financials are not in the best shape. This could be not good for this company. I think that this would be a major issue, and I think that putting off that, if they weren't able to come up with some type of settlement, or receive some type of funding from this overall lawsuit, as they are paying money for this lawsuit itself, that could be very detrimental to this company. And I wouldn't be surprised to see it not go well for them if we do see this route get taken by Philip Morris. So this is very, very important to watch out for. These are the 3 risks that I am looking out for this company, and I do think that these are very important. Learn your stop losses, learn your trailing stop losses, and really set a game plan whenever it comes to trading this company. If you are interested to see my moves, my portfolio, and have early access to all of this information, definitely head to the link in my description again, as that will bring you over to my Patreon. I hope you guys have been enjoying all of these HCMC videos, as I have been putting loads of time and work and effort into researching all of this, coming up with video ideas to provide to you all and keep you all as up to date and informed as possible. With that being said, I do post on this channel 2 to 3 times every single day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Peace.